Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Murder, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of Poirot, Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder, or Jonathan Creek. Today, I'm looking at Murder, She Wrote, A Christmas Secret, or as I like to call it, that time there was no murder. We begin the episode at a Christmas party where Alan clumsily announces that Charlie here will be marrying Elizabeth next year. Everybody clap! Except for Seth, who's being grumpy and draws attention to Bert, who will be skipped over for promotion in favour of Charlie. For seemingly no reason, Alan points out Amy and calls for Floyd, who is making out with Wanda, who low-key looks like the original Cluedo suspect cards, you know the ones, which Bert walks in on. Elizabeth opens a gift of a ring, which Wanda is salty over, and marches up to nose at it, while Floyd and Bert complain about her and Charlie getting the promotion. Elizabeth worries to Jessica that this relationship is happening too fast. Whip to Mary and Alan, who are pressing Charlie for grandchildren, before Metzger interrupts, bonding with Charlie over firearms. Elizabeth overheard the grandkids thing, so Charlie says they should talk in his hotel room, before he wanders outside with Jess and Seth to point out his car he's renting. Jess asks Seth why he's such a grump, and he explains when he was 10 he wanted a train set for Christmas, but got socks instead. Jess, quick, do something to save Christmas!
I want the world to know there's a Mrs. Santa Claus!
Floyd gets in his car and Charlie in his, where he finds a present. Oh, Willie Nelson, but not really, it's actually a Blackmail tape, which he stashes as Elizabeth gets in the car, and he makes out with her as a distraction. The tape instructs Charlie to meet her that evening, and Amy gets a very one-sided phone call, which Jess witnesses as Floyd goes out of town. More kissing, but Charlie bails to go to the meeting, which is with Wanda, which confuses him, so he leaves. The next day, Amy leaves decorating with Jess to go cover the store, and runs into Wanda, who's a bit rude, before she's sent by Mary to go get balloons from the locker room, while Elizabeth bitches about her to Jess, who is wearing all the Christmas. I love it. Elizabeth says she's got concerns about Charlie, so Jess says to go talk to him about it. That's good advice. And at the store, Amy listens in on Floyd's phone conversation with some woman. Mary sends Jess for more red balloons, so she goes to Wanda, who acts very suspiciously, before handing her green balloons, so Jess calls her out on being colorblind. Elizabeth goes to find Charlie at his hotel, but he's not there, and she finds the Blackmail tape and a diary entry, so she heads there to see him kissing someone else. Charlie goes to the house, only to be told Elizabeth isn't well, so he goes to the party without her, where Seth is still being grumpy. Everybody clap! Elizabeth sneaks around as Seth gets into his Santa suit, and Charlie follows Wanda through the party and into the locker room. Very fetching Seth, only to have Santa push past him as he finds Wanda has been shot.
She's still alive, fellas, so easy. Very easy.
Yeah, we know she is, Seth, but he's concerned, and Andy uncovers the duplicate Santa suit. Jess thinks someone stole something from Wanda's locker, and Elizabeth confronts Charlie over the tape and the kiss, but they're interrupted by Bert, who has uncovered the gun, which Charlie confirms is his. Dude, don't just leave. Seth says Wanda survived by some Christmas miracle, and Elizabeth reports that Charlie has been arrested because of the gun and the blackmail tape, but Jess says it makes no sense because him and Wanda were practically strangers, and she boots Seth out so Elizabeth can tell her about the other woman. Jess doesn't buy it. She goes to Metzger, who mentions Floyd took a trip to Tokyo last year, which left Wanda in charge of finances, but the books didn't add up, which Floyd confirms, and Jess is outraged. She tells Seth and they discuss motives because the blackmail tape could have been for anyone because it was so vague, and Elizabeth could have taken Charlie's gun. Jess goes to see the mystery woman, who is upset, and also Charlie's sister.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Monica. All is not lost.
Aw, a small child, who is in fact Charlie's. Charlie was previously engaged, but his fiancée died during childbirth, so Monica took care of the baby, and Charlie didn't tell Elizabeth in case she left him. Jess says she understands, but still doesn't get why Wanda would bother blackmailing Charlie until she spots Belinda playing and gets an epiphany. Amy leaves the shop as Floyd gets a phone call from Jess, which Amy listens in on, and Jess points out out he has master keys for the lockers and motel rooms in town. He arms himself and goes to raid the lockers, where he's jump scared by Amy, who says she knows he skimmed off the books and she listened in on the phone call and shot Wanda to protect him and wants smooches, but Floyd whips out his gun and they're both busted. Jess says Wanda meant the tape to go to Floyd, but due to her color blindness, put the tape in Charlie's red car instead of Floyd's green one. Would we call that green? Anyway, no one showed up, so Wanda called Floyd direct, which Amy eavesdropped on and stole Charlie's gun to shoot Wanda and clear out her locker. At a Christmas party, Belinda is welcomed into the family. Mwah! And Jess gives Seth a gift of a train, which cheers him right up, and Metzger's Caroliers sing us out of the episode. They're kinda creepy. Okay, no one was murdered in Murder, She Wrote in its one and only Christmas episode. There was a lot of information to this one. Not all of it clicked into my brain, like Floyd worked at a hardware store, so how was he able to embezzle people's pensions? But nevertheless, a lot of time was spent establishing the characters and the events, as well as soaking up the Christmas season. So while I probably won't remember much about this episode in a few weeks' time, I can't deny that it was well thought out. I loved the through line of Jess trying to cheer Seth up over Christmas, because I love the platonic relationship these two have. It gives me warm, squishy, nostalgic feelings. And now I want to go watch Mrs. Santa Claus right now, except I'm writing the script in September, so maybe I'll hold off for a while. I don't think that's exactly how color blindness works, however I liked it as a plot point, as they established it ahead of time, and didn't draw too much attention to the cars, so it wasn't obvious that the blackmail tape had ended up going to the wrong person, especially with Charlie hiding a secret anyway. I like the cuter side of Metzger leading the Caroliers. It was cute, and I love when the characters in a Christmas episode sing Christmas carols, like in that Diagnosis Murder episode I covered previously. But what broke my brain was how many actors they had in this, who have also appeared in a bunch of different Murder, She Wrote episodes. There were so many of them, and while I know these older shows reuse actors all the time, it still breaks my brain. And Bert was a weird nothing character. Our would-be body survived her ordeal, so in your face, Amy Wainwright. So there you have it. That was A Christmas Secret. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to keep investigating with me. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and keep an eye out for clues.